I am back for part two of my vinyl finds. These are from Melbourne and a couple of local releases, or things I've picked up locally, I should say. Yeah, more records. Now, the first one is a really cheap record that I've been after for ages. I was hoping to pick it up in a record store, and I paid, next to nothing for it. And I think this is really fantastic. This is Paul Horn, Altura du Sol, or High Sun in brackets. This came out in Colombia in 1976, and the man behind this fantastic record is the musical genius that is Egberto Gismonti. He is someone that I haven't delved into too much, but everything I've heard I have really enjoyed. This is produced by Tio, what's his face? Macero. Yeah, really fantastic. Obviously South American Latin rhythms mixed into like a jazz stew. It's really fantastic. I think this is very overlooked. I love the cover. I think it is so ridiculous and over the top. I think it's very eye-catching and fantastic. Yeah, just really nice. Slightly funky, kind of soupy Latin sounds. Lots of really beautiful flutes and traditional sounds mixed through it. Yeah, really fantastic. I guess the thing I would say, if you're into Hermeto Pascual, if you're into that sort of sound, there's a lot to love in here for sure. Yeah, really good. I won't stick on this too long, but I think if you see this cheap, it is absolutely worth picking up. This one I can't say too much about because it is what it is. John Fahey Volume 3. I have Volume 2. Do I? Yeah, I need to check. Yeah, I have Volume 2. No, I have Volume 1, and I'm missing Volume 2. This is absolutely fantastic. Guitar from John Fahey. I can't say too much about it. It is what it is. Always haunting, always beautiful, always takes your mind off into a different direction. Yeah, really fantastic. I love this artwork. I think it's so cool. Yeah, this is a very early pressing on Tacoma. I still really need to find, and I can't find them, those Robbie Basho records on Tacoma. Yeah, they're very expensive to get clean copies. Anyway, this next one is a reissue from last year that I've been meaning to pick up. I had some store credit, so I grabbed it. I was always intrigued by this. I mainly knew this album cover. These are originally 2 EPs released in 1955. I knew these because I remember Anders talking about them, Anders in Stockholm back in the day. And they always stuck with me, so I was really, really happy to see they've done this really smart gatefold with the two EPs back to back on it. This is on the Blue Note Classics series. Yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. Herbie Nichols on piano, Al McGibbon on bass, and Art Blakey on drums. Now, in saying that, I have to say I wasn't familiar with Herbie Nichols' work before picking this up. I was just kind of aware of who he was, and I just grabbed it in store, thought I'd give it a go, and I'm really enjoying it. It didn't hit me the first couple of times, but I keep playing it and I keep pulling it out, and I was playing it just before making this video. Actually, it's kind of going to get under my skin and really grow on me. People make Thelonious Monk comparisons, but it's not that at all. It's definitely much his own thing. Also very playful. Definitely has that playful quality to it. I would say that way. Yeah, really nice to hear Art Blakey doing his thing. You can immediately tell it's him. Yeah, for 1955 as well. I think this is a really great sounding recording. Yeah, it saves. I'm never going to fork out the money for the EPs. But yeah, what a really nice, lovely thought out package just to have the 2 EPs in one. I was really happy with that. It's kind of one of those, like some reissues you go, oh, did you really need to do that? Is a really nice example of a reissue that needed doing, and they thought about it and they've done it really nicely. You know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but this is the sort of stuff that I find really interesting. Yeah, so well done, Blue Note, on that. All right, let's go into Europe. This had always intrigued me. It had been sitting at the record store in Melbourne that I go to for literally years. Like, I remember seeing it 5 years ago, no one had bought it. And I was always curious as to what it was. And I didn't, at the time, you know, back in the day, I didn't know anything about what Zool music was or Magma or anything like that. But this is basically Zhao's, I think it's is it their first album or the second album? I think it's their first album. Z equals 7L, I think that's the title. Yeah, this features 2 ex-Magma members, and I can't remember who the other one is, but the one is Francois Cahin. He does that beautiful record called East Winds. It's got like a purple cover. That's well worth checking out. This is divisive, very much pushing on the operatic vocals and proggy guitars, and I've played this once and I loved it, and the second time I was not feeling it at all, so the jury is still out. I think it's a very interesting listen. It's just sometimes you've got those operatic vocals and a violin scraping through it and then some saxophone on top. It can get pretty grating. I don't know. It's good. I enjoy it. I'm going to give it more listens. Yeah. Worth a listen, definitely. For the price, it was cheap. It was for the price I paid for it. I'm definitely keeping it. I'm definitely happy. I'm pretty sure this is a 86 issue, and it originally came out in 70 something. I can't remember. Late 70s. Lovely. Okay, this one you should all know. This has been on my list for ages. I kind of missed out on the reissues the first time around. This is the 2022 repress on Replica Records. Gilbert Artman's Lard Free. Absolutely classic, essential, electronic rock, prog, krautrock, whatever you want to call it, thing. Some amazing funky bass playing, some psychedelic synthesizer things going on. Yeah, really wonderful. The one I do want is the I'm Round About Midnight, which features Richard Pinas from Helden. But yeah, I think this is really fantastic. I think this is on the Nurse with Wound list. Yeah, as a must-hear record. I'm very happy to grab that. This one was not quite a blind buy, but one that I definitely had never heard, but I vaguely recognized the cover. This is called Drum Circus. No, this is called Magic Theatre by Drum Circus. And this is on the Garden of Delights label, so, you know, a couple of boxes were ticked there. I could see that Joel Van Grudenbroek from Brain Ticket features on here, and I really love his ambient work and biomechanoid and meditations and stuff like that. So I thought I'm going to give it a go. And I was a bit worried this was going to be a kind of a drum fest sort of thing, but it's actually not. It's really, really balanced. There's some really nice stuff. There's some bits that do make me cringe a little bit, is when they're singing in English and they're saying, I can't really remember what it is, but it's kind of weird and doesn't translate that well. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I don't think it would be an essential top 100 record or anything like that, or, you know, I'm going to put this in the worth hearing category for me. But yeah, it was cheap enough. It was worth a punt. Yeah, I think it's really good. I don't know how to describe it more than that. It's basically a krautrock record with lots of drums and lots of weird vocals. Yeah, very interesting. I think what it is there's 4 drummers. Now there's 3 drummers, saxophone, double bass, and 2 vocalists. So yeah, there's lots of percussion and micro bits of percussion going on throughout it. But yeah, worth checking out if you don't know it. The next one is also a reissue, but one I was really happy to find because I've been after this for a very long time. When I first heard this, it was probably kind of ahead of my listening curve at the time. This is Cozy and Nats, and the album is called Jazz Afro Occitan, and I'm pretty sure Occitan or Occitania was a region within France, and the language they spoke was Occitanian, which is like an old or a variation of Latin. And the guy behind this spoke. He wrote in the liner notes a lot about speaking this language when he was a kid and visiting lots of villages and that still spoke that. And he talks about the way of life. I'm not doing this justice at all, but what is this? It's essentially, it's just a deep spiritual jazz record with lots of African rhythms, African vibes. I'm sure lots of you would love this if you didn't know it already. It will kind of blow you away. It's absolutely fantastic. This is on Digger's Digest. It kind of, if you're into spiritual jazz, if you're into African rhythms, if you're into French jazz or French music, this is kind of all the boxes. I think this is a really fantastic record. Heavy percussion, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Soprano sax, trumpets, tubas, accordions, heavy percussion. I don't know how to say it more than that. It's absolutely fantastic. This would be, from me, a highly recommended record to check out. Originals obviously go for a stupid amount of money. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of round 2. I've got a couple of bits and pieces left over, but we'll see if they're worth showing or not. I will decide soon. Alright, thank you for watching again. I hope you found something kind of interest at least. I hope I didn't speak too quickly, because I have a tendency to kind of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's all. Thank you to everybody that watched not my last video, the one before that's got a lot of views for some reason. It's kind of surprising, actually. Yeah, so just thank you all. I apologize to everybody that I haven't been watching or commenting. All the regulars that I normally do, I feel like I've dropped off a little bit. I still do watch things here and then. And yeah, I feel like I'm just dragging on now, so I'm going to end the video.